Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this mini series based on my tour, my solo tour around Tunisia. To all my Tunisian friends, I hope it does justice to your beautiful country, and to anybody else considering visiting Tunisia or doing a cycling tour in Tunisia, I hope it helps. Enjoy, subscribe, like, share. Hope you can watch all of them. Thank you. So, leaving Makthar early, I had a 7 o'clock start. To be honest, there's no reason for me to remain behind, but I was very keen to get out of there before the town woke up. 1 second, let me turn this around. So I've got a climb, I've got an 800-foot climb straight out of my coffee and warm-up. So I had a three easy miles and now a hard 800-foot climb. But after a decent night's sleep, but knowing that there's no reason to hang around, I got prepped and packed, 6 AM on the road for 7. Onwards to better things. Kairouan, I've got a very hard day ahead of me, and apparently midday we're expecting a thunderstorm. So let's get this mileage done. Unfortunately, stray dogs is a massive problem in Tunisia, and for a cyclist they can be problematic. Now on the flats or on a slight incline it's usually all right, but I just got caught out there on an 8% incline. There was no way I was going to outrun them. There's a pack of about 7 of them. What do I do? There's no way I'm outrunning them. I'm like, okay, attack is the best form of defense. I turned around and ran straight at them, shouting at the top of my voice, hoping that it works. And thankfully they all just turned around and legged it. But yeah, it was my first one where a full pack, like usually 2 or 3 on a flat, on a slight incline, you can outrun them. Or I just get my water bottle, square at them or something, and it'll kind of put them off. But that was a bit scary. About 6 or 7 of them. I really was running out of options. There's no way I was going to outrun them on an incline of about 8%. So turned around and just started shouting at them like a madman and went straight at them. So far so good, not had too many issues with animals. Spotted a few snakes on the side of the road, a few dead ones on the road. Some of the campsites apparently had scorpions, but I didn't see any. Other than that, yeah, it's quite straightforward, to be honest. People are amazing, don't really need to worry about the wildlife. Dogs, stray dogs, definitely an issue. Such a typical scene here on the side of the road. Salam, صباح الخير. These fast descents, as enjoyable as they are, they're going to be costly today. My legs are going to be shot. Because at the end of them, you've got these climbs. Them clouds do not look good. I left early so I could try and get into Kairouan ahead of this thunderstorm. Signs aren't good. So 12 miles in an hour and 10. So not bad considering all the climbing is at the early end of the day. But yeah, it's tough. You know, and it's hard enough trying to get out of bed on a day like this. Then you gotta get dressed, saddle up, get all the panniers on, check your kit again, check your kit once more, get out of town, and all you need then is a nice bit of rolling road just to give you a little pick-me-up. And all I've had is 12 miles of climbing, but I know there's good stuff to come, so keep spinning. Look at those clouds, a bit ominous. It was hit and miss as to whether I took a luage today or not, but check the weather and I think I've got a good chance of getting into Kairouan before the worst of the weather. If anything, I'll be stuck in the thunderstorm for about an hour and a half, provided there's no mechanicals. So onwards, bismillah. Right, look at that. Out of all the things that can slow you down, look at that.
Cycling, but as fresh as you can get.
A big herd of sheep.
And I'm also trying to beat a thunderstorm. It was a bit of a race to come out and see if I can beat it, but hey, skin's waterproof as long as I'm safe. And if I'm not safe,
is that something or what? That's it, stop in the middle of nowhere, why don't you? Now that is worth a picture. Oh, let's stop for this and take a picture. So then, look at that, will you? Now that is very, very familiar landscape. You know you're back in the middle of Tunisia. You know you're back in the flatlands. And you know you're close to friends. Woohoo! Soos! Here we come! 3 more stops! The middle eastern quarter of the middle section and towards the east is just like this. Flat, long, straight roads. Whether it's the road to Kairouan, whether it's the road to Al Jaim from Kairouan, whether it's the road from Al Jaim to Susa or to Mahdiya, which on a flat day without any wind is absolutely amazing. If you get a tailwind, you can easily achieve 30-35 miles an hour on the flats. Really go for it in a chain gang. Days like this, when you've got the winds against you, still a good ride, still a very good ride. I mean, just look around. Wow. Be defensive all the time. Make sure you got a mirror, make sure you're looking miles ahead, miles behind. If you anticipate somebody's going to pull a silly takeover maneuver, use a gutter. But otherwise, beautiful day cycling. I wish I didn't have the stress of this thunderstorm looming over me, or else I would have just cycled in nice and steady, taking in the sights. But I really have got to go, put pedal down, try and keep 18 mile an hour average and get to Kairouan as soon as possible. Thunderstorm expected for about midday to 1 o'clock. Currently 9:17. I've got 2 hours in the bag and I've got 3 hours to go, so let's see, no pressure. I'm sorry if this is a bit close, but after what feels like an absolute age, after about a week in the mountains, I find myself on the flats and I'm on the drops. Finally, I'm in the drops, trying to achieve 20 miles an hour with a headwind. Loving it. The winds have definitely picked up and I sense some droplets in the air. I'm still 34 miles short of Kairouan, so let's hope the rain hasn't come early. According to my calculations, I should have had another 2.5 hours before it really starts coming down and the thunderstorm comes in, so let's hope this is just a passing cloud or something. Let's see. Two quick observations. Obvious really, but A, climbing out the saddle when you got panniers, it's about 22 kg on the back, and then you got the front fork bags, not like you would normally climb out the saddle. I mean, you get a wobble on, don't you, when you're climbing out the saddle, but you're usually on a bike that weighs 6 or 7 kg, 8 kg, and at the back end you've only got half of that weight, easily controlled by your torso and your core. On this thing, no. I've got a right wobble on a few times. Just on that last one I almost lost it. Observation number 2, and a bit of a tip for you, Irfan, for when you're watching this back. Soon as you're ready, gear down. Don't try grinding it, don't try grinding it. On a multi-day tour, look after your knees, look after your quads, look after your hips, look after your calves. As soon as you feel the resistance, as long as you can maintain cadence, knock it down. You don't have to grind a big chain ring. Whew. Here, have a look at that. Weather's really coming in. I'm quite optimistic about making Kairouan on time. Let's see. Keftaji and Makrud, that way. Just another 30 miles, 30 miles before Kairouan. Kairouan, that way. Keftaji, that way. Makrud, that way. Yalla. Beautiful masjid. Like so many of these rural masjids. Gorgeous little escapes from rural life. Apologies if the camera has been a bit rubbish. There's a lot of moisture in the air. There is an incoming thunderstorm. I got water, moisture all over most of my kit. Onwards. It's 10:15 and the rain has started, the wind's picked up, but it's only very, very light. Nothing in comparison with the promised thunderstorm about midday. So although I want to stop and eat, I'm going to push on. I don't want to get stuck in the thunderstorm for too long. I think it's inevitable. I'm going to be in it for about an hour, but an hour I can deal with. So for now, it's going to be water, electrolytes and gufretto. Hopefully no more big climbs for today, just little ones like this. Little 80, 90 feet climbs. You can kind of get over in the big ring towards the end, just climb out the saddle. Hopefully. Kairouan, Gasta, ala ala. Kairouan, ala tool, bismillah. So I don't know what this town is, and helpfully my maps app doesn't have town stated unless I zoom right in. But very nice little town, and the people have been quite nice actually. So then Aziza, do I have time for a yogurt drink? Maybe not. I often just wonder, is it just worth it when you have to stop, leave your bike? Now quite often at the front of Aziza they do have a little place where they don't mind you leaving it near the cashiers, but yeah, sometimes I just want to go somewhere where I can stay on my bike, ask for a drink, down it, and then carry on. Bismillah, Kairouan. I've got about 25 miles to Kairouan. I wasn't going to risk stopping for dinner, but I couldn't help it. I'm just too hungry now. I didn't really have a breakfast. So we're stopping here and we're going to have chapati beef.
Chapati melewi.
Melewi wa iskalo. Wali chapati wa
Chapati iskalo.
iskalo. So I'm going to have a chapati with iskalo. Salam, لاباس.
فما دجاج.
شو اسمك غير؟
دجاج.
بادي دجاج. فما دجاج يون. شو اسمك؟
دجاج مشوي.
لا شو اسمك انت؟
زهير.
زهير. شرفوا انا عارفين. شرفوا هي. شرفوا. So yeah, I'm gonna have a quick bite and then back on the road.
بطاطا.
اي بدأ. تحبون الكرة؟ تعرفون مانشستر؟ سيتي ولا يونايتد؟
سيتي.
اي انا جيت من قريب من مانشستر على دورة تونسية. تحب بسكليت؟ ايه شو اسمك انت؟
اسمي.
وين انت؟
الحمد لله.
عمي محمد امين. انا عارفين. تشرفوا. We got حفوظ. I think it's the biggest populated mass that I've seen, biggest populated town that I've seen in a while. It looks buzzing actually. Just 17 miles left now to Kairouan. And a lot of it downhill. The hard work is in the bag. Now, Kairouan. A stiff coffee and some makrud. Bismillah. Midday, 12 o'clock. I haven't done bad. 52 miles in the bag, considering I left at about 7:30. Just after 7 coffee break. That's not bad, averaging about 10 miles an hour, just over. Considering the climbing, that is not bad at all. Mind you, the last 15 miles have really upped the average. Been rolling at 15, 16, 17 miles an hour. Now I'm just conscious of staying very, very alert. Closer you get to these big urban centres, closer you get to the idiot drivers. So it's a single track either side, and then you've got this gutter, but you still get these impatient drivers just pull out into the opposite lane, despite the fact that they can see there's somebody else coming, and then you just end up in a sandwich. Luckily there is this, I'll turn it around, there is this like big gutter area that if I do see somebody pulling out there dangerously, and then I know in my mirror there's somebody behind me, that's going to be a sandwich. I'll just pull in like that and be as defensive as possible. There's no point arguing after the fact that it was your right of way or his. It still hurts regardless of whose right of way it is. So just defensive, like look at this numpty here, just pulled out, had a big gap, fair enough, but look at this, every one of them guys is just edging to try and get ahead. That perfectly demonstrates how you can just end up in a sandwich. Mirrors, look ahead, try and plan. and if need be just use the gutter. I mean, it's not a very nice surface, but it's better than being in the way of some of these guys here. Concentrate. Just 8 miles now to Kairouan, and it's getting busier and busier and busier. It is quite a big city, and then there's little outlying areas that also benefit from the fact that Kairouan is there. So it's like a big crossroads that all converge onto one city. It's like 5 major roads feeding into the big ring road around Kairouan. It's getting busy, 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 having to stay alert. So just leaving Shbika outside of Kairouan, and you can tell it's just getting busier and busier and busier. You got all the little istirahat, the little rest stops, the fresh mashwi, you got the lambs being hung up as the slaughtered lambs, ready to be cooked. Yeah, it's just mashwi, grill house after grill house after grill house. Gives you an idea of just how busy Kairouan is, both for internal and external visitors. You get a lot of visitors from inside Tunisia to Kairouan, and you're getting all the Makthars, all the istirahat, all the coffee houses, all the little rest stops. Right, next stop for me I think is in 8 miles, Dar Shabab. I'm going to see if I can get a booking. If not, it's going to have to be a hotel. For the last 7 miles into Kairouan, I've just had to drive in the gutter here. It's not a very good surface, there's a lot of glass in it. It's more gravelly than tarmac, but far better than to be in that. Woohoo! Kairouan roundabout. Now ordinarily, if I was going for the centre, I'd go straight over, but I'm going to go left because I'm going to try and get a booking in Dar Shabab. Salam. Kind of football stadium.
In 300 meters at the roundabout, take the 3rd exit.
Right, 300 meters at the roundabout, 3rd exit. And that should be Dar Shabab. Let's hope they have a booking, because I would be chuffed. That'd be like arrived, booked in for 1 o'clock. Offload, shower, go do some ziyarat. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, no booking. I spend the next hour trying to get a hotel that's a rip-off, and then I go do my ziyarat. Either way, it's a win-win.
In 300 meters, turn left.
Right, so looks like the Dar Shabab is part of this sports complex. Looks like that is the Dar Shabab, and it also looks like it's dead. Fully locked up. Well done. Doesn't look like there's been anybody here for ages. Right, plan B. Shabab was a no-no. Doesn't look like there's been anybody there for years. Totally locked up. So now I'm going to head into the major ring road that they've got here, and then have a look at some hotels on the south side of the big ring road. There's some cheap hotels there, I'm sure. So let's see. If you're watching my head just dart about over my shoulder, both shoulders, it's because we're in Kairouan. Just so much going on. Information overload. Cars, pedestrians, cyclists, signs, people coming the opposite way. Really got to have your wits about you. It's a lovely city, but it's so much going on. That is a lot going on. That is a lot going on. I've not arrived yet and I already want to stay another day.
In 600 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
Here we are in Kairouan. After getting here and stopping at, I forgot the name now, Hotel Tawfiq, which was too many steps to go up. I came next door to Hotel Tunis, which is actually quite reasonable. 35 dinar would have been okay, and I was just about to book when Uncle Monji rang and he said, no, I want to, there's a friend of mine, you can stay with him. So just having a coffee. Just having a coffee opposite the Hotel Tulsi, and then see how that goes. But yeah, coffee time. Really need a shower, so I hope this is not one of these where it takes ages and ages and ages for him to get here and then ages to get to wherever he lives. Sounds really ungrateful, but honestly I could just do with a shower and some sleep. So this is the hotel that I booked. Very quaint little place, Nuzul Tunis, Tunisia Hotel, and I've got one of these balconies here. Actually, it's a really quaint little place with two fellas at the reception that still think they're stuck in like colonial France. It's really amazing. Hassan is going to show me around, but yeah, this is it. This is reception, and then I'm one floor up, but really quaint little place, cheap and cheerful. It's like a tenner for the night. It's clean, so can't complain. Right, I'm gonna, this is Hassan, and inshallah we're gonna do a نعمل شوية دورة of Kairouan. We're gonna see the ziyarat inshallah.
ان شاء الله مرحبا بك.